Okay, let's begin sitting down. And you can maybe start actually with your eyes open and pat up underneath you if you want some more comfort. We'll be here for a couple minutes. But do look for a comfortable seat. And just let your eyes stay gently opened and without moving your pupils around. Just notice what you see. Again, without moving your pupils, notice what you see around you. Not just what's right in front of you, but the peripheral stuff. And notice your breath. And just imagine every time you breathe out, your eyelids got heavier and heavier and you started blinking slowly and often. And then on this next exhale, at the very end of it, your eyes close and stay shut. And just notice what you feel. Notice any stories you're telling. If there's maybe a sense of wanting, craving, even a minor one, even just the kind of suggestion somewhere in your story that you'd like for something besides what's happening right now to be happening instead. A little more or a little less of whatever. And while that action is a survival thing, we are seekers, we are people who want. But right now, for the next 20 minutes, we're going to set that aside. We're going to see what it feels like as we play with balance. To allow the body and the mind to experience everything that's going on without the effort of wanting. Perhaps without much effort at all. It's our natural state, a natural state of the body, of the animal, to choose the path of least resistance. Maybe not so much in society, but physiologically it is. In many ways. Our body is always trying to conserve energy, and so is our mind. That's why it recognizes patterns so much. It saves us a lot of time. But let's notice the breath. Let's imagine we were spending the next bit of time not creating any new pattern that doesn't help us. Not strengthening any old pattern that doesn't help us. So we're noticing the breath. You might also notice how incessant thoughts are, how clever your mind is, always trying to fill in the spaces. And observe it. You don't have to make it important. You don't have to get tied into it. Just observe it when it happens and return to your breath. Feeling the stretching out, the slowing down of the inhales and the exhales. Imagining you could breathe into just your left lung. And breathe out of it. Imagine you could breathe into just your right lung. And out. We'll do one more time, each side. Inhaling, imagine you were using only your left lung to breathe in and out. You can let it go when you're ready. And then right side. Just noticing how everything feels. Now imagine your lungs could breathe kind of in harmony with each other, with equal effort. And imagine your whole torso existed of lung, all the way down to your pelvic floor. And if you practice Ujjayi breath, you can begin it, finding that whisper in the back of the throat. And noticing anytime you feel a sense of efforting, a sense of want, and you can use it like an aha moment. Oh, there it is again. Look at that clever mind. And you're simply not going to make it important. But you are getting more and more absorbed in your breath. Let's come on to hands and knees, however you want to get there. Fanning out the fingers, having your knees a little bit closer to each other than maybe you usually would. And we're going to reach the right leg back and the left arm forward. You might just have them kind of hang in the air. If you'd like, you can lift them so you feel a little bit of engaging in the body, but reach your hand and foot away from each other, as if two people of equal strength were pulling them apart. And you can just notice your attention as a sort of flow, like it was water and it's moving from this place to this place into that crevice. And you just gently redirect it back to your breath. You make nothing important. Release your hand and your leg, other side. So left leg and right arm reach away from each other. And you breathe. Maybe allowing them to float in the air. Maybe feeling them move away from each other with a little bit of intensity. And release the knee, release the hand. When you're ready, inhale, lift the sit bones towards the ceiling. Lift the top of the sternum. Lift the back of the head. Exhale, tuck the tailbone. Arch your back. Drop the top of the head now towards the ground. Push into the floor, lift the sit bones, lift the sternum and the nose. Exhale, tuck under. Inhale, one more time each. And then let's make our way up onto the hands, up onto the knees. But you can put your hands to your hips, or you can open your arms out like a tightrope walker, whatever you need. And if you want to pad up under your knees, of course, go ahead. Toes can be tucked or not, whatever's your preference. You're going to lean into your left side, focus your eyes, and step your right foot forward. And from here, lift your back knee up off of the floor, and then lift your hands. Close your eyes, and notice if you feel your body move. Notice whatever you feel as your body tries to find its balance. Notice your breath. Release your fingertips, your left knee, and then step your right foot back. And come up onto the knees. Do what you'd like with your hands. Find your breath. Lean into your right side a little so you counterbalance. Step the left foot forward. Tuck the back toes. You can use your hands on the ground if you want to, but lift that back knee, lift the arms. Let your eyes close, maybe most of the way, maybe all of the way. And notice your breath. Push into the floor gently with whatever is touching it. Of course, you'll adjust so that nothing hurts at all. But let's keep the physical practice pretty low effort, and we'll really focus on the sensations of balance. Release your fingertips to the floor and your right knee. Bring your left knee back to meet it. When you're ready to, inhale, tuck the toes, lift your knees. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, plank pose. Lift your left foot off the floor. Put it down, downward dog. Inhale, plank pose. Right foot lifts and comes right back down, downward dog. One more time, shift forward. You can always put your knees down. Lift your left leg, push the floor away. Lift your lower back a little. Downward dog, left foot back. And shifting forward, right foot lifts. And comes down. Now from here, or hands and knees, or downward dog, travel to the front of your space and fold forward. Let your head hang. Hold on to opposite elbow. And then with your knees soft, lift some of the way up. So if your torso is quite close to your legs, lift it away a little bit. So your back is rounded, but only in so far as feels good in your back. If you don't like to have it rounded like that, you can lift higher. We're going to knead the floor with the feet. So grab your right foot as you lean into the floor. Grab the floor with your right foot. And then lean into the left foot and grab the floor with it. And you can think like kneading dough or like a cat kneading the carpet. Just grab the floor with one foot as you lean into it, and then the other. And just keep switching. Just feeling your feet on the floor. Now let your arms drop. Knead the floor with your right foot, and just lift your left foot up, but then put it right back down. You keep the hips low, keep your head low, center of gravity low. Grab the floor with your left foot, lift your right foot, bring it right back down. Now look at the floor. Let your brain know the floor is right there. Lift the left, lower. Lift the right, lower. One more time each foot. Try to keep your foot active, your ankle and knee relatively still. Now after you put your right foot down, roll up to stand. Relax your shoulders. Mountain pose. Inhale, imagine your lungs started at your shoulders and stopped at the bottom of the pelvis. And exhale really slowly. You might blink once or twice. Let's lift the left foot up. Remember, let's not do a lot of effort. You can lift your arms too. And go ahead and put your foot down, put your arms down. Lift the right knee, lift the arms. Foot down, arms down. Let's do that again. Left leg up. Grab the floor with your right foot. Now you can balance here without grabbing the floor really firmly with your foot too if you wanted. You can just play with it. But sometimes keeping the ankle really stable by grabbing the floor with the foot can be useful. Now notice your breath. Especially when I stop talking. Watch how your mind fills in the blanks. Let's step the left foot back into a lunge. But then step it forward. Maybe the toes come to the floor. Maybe they lift up. And step it back again. Focus your eyes. Step it forward. Step it back. Forward. Back. Forward. Put your foot down. Relax your arms. Check out what's going on with your left foot. Lift your right foot up. Maybe the arms too. Notice what you feel most sensitive to now. Is it in the body? Is it a story you're telling? What seems to be the thing most magnetic to your attention? We'll step the right foot back. Step it forward. Maybe the toes come to the floor. Maybe they lift in the air eventually. Back again. Forward again. Just a couple more times. 2 or 3. Now this time or the next time you step your foot back, you'll step the foot next to the left foot and relax your arms. Now let's take the left heel up and open the knee out to the left. And if you'd like, you can slide your foot up onto your calf, maybe even above your knee onto your thigh, and do what you'd like with your arms. Mine are a little tired, so I think I'm going to leave my hands to my hips. You can do whatever you'd like. So there's too many alignment cues to count, right? There's different alignment cues in this pose, in every pose for every specific body. And that's not even counting the intention of the person's practice. But our intention today is to play with balance and to observe effort, especially when it comes in the form of wanting. Now let's take that left foot, step it back, but then we're going to turn on the feet so they start parallel to each other. And then the left foot points out to the left, so it's pointing to the back of the mat. Warrior 2. Arms out to a T. Breathe. Now let's relax the arms. We're going to push into the floor with the right foot, like we're pushing the floor away from us. And we're going to end up landing on the left foot, so we'll be facing the back of the space. Focus your eyes now. Push off the floor with the right foot, and then lift your right knee up. You can put it down pretty quickly. But then you'll turn your right knee out to the right for tree pose on this side. You can do whatever you want with your arms. If you'd like to lift your foot higher, go ahead. Maybe you choose instead to perhaps lift your foot up, but to help a little bit with balance, place a fingertip on the wall. Other things that will help with balance is a pretty steady, so to speak, breathing. So the breath isn't very excited. Focusing your eyes can help. All these ways you want to kind of anchor your brain into the space, the shape. And again, watch what you go through, and watch in particular when some story about wanting something besides what's happening pops up. Investigate that feeling. Notice how you can feel it, and you don't have to do anything at all about it. And we're going to take that right foot, reach it back behind us. You might not go back very far, that's okay. But eventually swivel onto the feet so that the right foot is facing the front of the mat again. Arms are out to a T, warrior 2, and let's just breathe here. We're not going to go through the alignment stuff. We're taking it pretty easy. You can shift around any way you want to so that everything feels better. You might like the way it feels to bend your knee a little bit more deeply. You might not. Notice your breath. And then quite soon, we'll relax the arms and the legs. You can shorten your stance a little first if you want to. But let's bend that left knee, the back leg. We're You're going to focus your eyes, push off of the floor with the back leg, and then see if you can land on the right foot. And you can put your left foot down pretty soon. And when you're ready, we're going to come to sit. You can get there however you want to. Maybe it's via malasana, via a squat. And then after you get there, you're going to lift your feet up. Hold on to your legs with your hands or not. And close your eyes. And just observe what your body goes through. So you've closed your eyes. You've taken away one of the things that anchors the body with balance. Just observe. You're so close to the floor, so you can feel pretty safe. And if you don't like it, you can let your eyes open a little. It's okay. But if it's interesting or you feel neutral about it, keep them closed. Let's make our way onto the back. You can get there quickly or really slowly. Sometimes it's so interesting to hesitate before you come all the way down, just to see what happens. But eventually release your back and gently your head and your limbs. Walk your feet in for literally 2 breaths. We're going to lift up into a bridge pose. So lift your hips, knead the floor with your feet. You can lift your rib cage for this one too. We can make it back bendy if you like it. If you don't, keep the rib cage tucked in. And we're going to come down and just let the knees drop easily side to side. It's time for Shavasana. So we're going to take the legs out and the palms up. Let the eyes close. And notice as you rest that your mind is going to look for patterns like it does all the time. Chances are very good you're thinking things you're pretty familiar with. We all are. So for balance, perhaps tell a different story every once in a while. Perhaps make a different conclusion. One where the story's maybe not finished yet. Allowing the body to feel more and more relaxed with every passing moment. The breathing gets easier. And over, you can remember that just because a thought came up doesn't mean you have to do anything about it. You don't have to make it important at all. In fact, for many of them, I'd suggest you don't. But if you land on something that brings you up, that energizes you a bit, stay there for a little bit longer. Just let yourself take it all in. Let that become something you're more likely to look for. Let that become a different pattern. And if you have the time and inclination to stay in Shavasana for longer, please do. But if you would like to stretch and come up to sit, that's fine. And have this short moment to yourself. Use it well. If you like to fold forward at the end of your yoga practice or your meditation practice, place the hands where you'd like them. Maybe sit a little bit taller at first, and go ahead and fold. And sit up when you want. And thank you very, very much.